Guys, I cannot find the video I filmed on diet. Ooh, so I'm gonna have to get it to you another time, but check this out. I got t-shirts coming for you. Enjoy this video on handstands. Hey family, it's Miranda. Welcome to my living room. I'm going to be sharing with you guys handstands, headstands and handstands. First, I'm gonna move this out of the way. So, what I really love about headstands and handstands is that it gets you inverted, it gives you more mind and body awareness, it challenges you. Sometimes it's new, scary, or fun, and you feel a lot of strength within your core, but not just the core of your body, but the core of your being. So before we get started, I wanted to share a little bit of gratitude and take a moment to say thank you for keeping the comments, conversations, and love going in our community. I also want to give you a little disclaimer, which is make sure you are fit to do this. If you feel any insecurity, any pains, like you just get clearance from your doctor, because I'm not responsible for your choice in participating in this. And I also want to make sure you do things safely. So the first way to get started is to start with what I like to do as headstands. And headstands is a great way to get the feeling of getting upside down, and we're going to do this in a way that is not going to be scary. So stick with me. Find a comfortable place. If you have a yoga mat, great. If you're on carpet, even better. And I like to get down on my knees like this. And what I found is if you're a male or you have a heavier shoulder base, it's more comfortable or easier to go with your hands behind your head, forming a tripod with your elbows and forearms. But I've noticed that a lot of more petite body people tend to like to just place the head on the ground and the palms to form a tripod. And this just all depends on what you feel more comfortable with. I always recommend try them both and then see how you feel. For me, I liked the tripod to begin with. But what you basically want to do is find a comfortable place to place your head. If you feel like this is too much pressure, you can start by putting some towels or blankets to support your head a little bit better to get started. Find that flat spot on your head, and then place your hands either down. If you're doing the hands with the tripod, place them by your knees, so you're forming a nice even triangle between your hands and your head. And what we're gonna do is you're just gonna lift up and roll, and just feel what that feels like. Then gently come back down. Like for me, I haven't done headstands in a long time, and this mat is like not as squishy, so I might fold it over because I can feel the pressure. And it's normal to feel the blood go into your head, and it might feel uncomfortable. So from here, tuck your toes, lift up, and then start walking your butt. You can see how my butt starts to stack over my shoulders as I continue to walk, and it starts to straighten. From here, it's really easy to lift one foot, and then pressing into your hands, lift another foot. Then you can get up. Some people like to start from here, bringing it to their elbows, and then lifting up to straighten the spine. And then come back down and relax. A lot of times I like to do the child's pose to relax. And then you can repeat this as many times as you like. Oftentimes, if you're just getting started for the first time, it feels crazy getting upside down. And don't worry, that feeling is gonna go away really quick. You won't even feel it after a while. But at first, it might feel like a lot of pressure in your head, or you feel the blood rushing to your head, and you might not feel like you can stay upside down for a long time. I tend to prefer now placing my hands behind my head. So you can place or try it this way if you like, but then eventually you'll get to walk up and then just come right up into a headstand. And you can play around while you're here, focusing on aligning the spine. You can move your legs around, which I like because it helps make things more dynamic. It also helps strengthen the core and give that mind-body awareness. So play around with it, and then focus on doing exercises. So if you're going to do one leg or the other, this is building up to it. You may want to start up against the wall. If you don't feel comfortable, you don't know how to roll out of it, always have a wall or a spotter be there with you if you don't feel comfortable. Otherwise, if you know how to do a bridge or a wheel pose, it's pretty easy to fall out of the headstand. Usually you're right here, and you would end up just falling out the other way. But you have to be really comfortable with it, and if you're not, it's really important to find somebody who knows what they're doing or who can spot you through the process. After you get headstands down, it becomes really easy to be mind body aware of what it feels like to be upside down. I like to say move up to your forearms next. For me, I went to handstand first and the forearms was harder for me. I'd be interested in hearing what some of you who have experience feel about that, if forearms is hardest. But forearms is a great place to remove the head off the ground, but still have a wider base using both the elbows, forearms, and the hands. And that's gonna give you a really nice wide base, and it's the same concept coming up, bringing that leg up, and then pushing into it until you get over it. Now, I like to separate my legs because it helps give me more control. I can move the legs up and down like this, and that'll give you control over where I tilt in my body, but it really comes from pressing those hands into the floor. I think that's where a lot of people hit and miss when it comes to forearm stands or handstands, is they're just like balancing on their base, but not really pressing the weight into the hands. So I really look for my weight of my body to shift into my hands and into my fingers, so when it gets there, I can press that into the ground and counterweight it using the force or the pressure that I have in my hands. And that is equally as important when it comes to handstands. So with handstands, same form. We come here with both hands on the ground, shoulder width apart. The two things that really helped me is this concept of putting the weight into the fingertips, as well as keeping my elbows completely straight. I like to say lock out. You don't want to hyperextend them, but you want them to be completely straight and firm and solid, because I used to do it with soft elbows, and you're basically not giving yourself a really solid foundation. So I like to get my elbows nice and straight. And I'm gonna go this way, because when I fall out of it, I like to fall out to my left. And for me, I used to jump into it, so I see a lot of people trying to do this thing, and I feel like, again, that's just like trying to hit the balance point or like hit a target, which makes it really inconsistent and hard to get that mind-body awareness. So what I like to do is I like to move into it as slow as possible. So I'll come here, walk my feet up like I do just in a headstand, bring my leg up and try to pull up. So there's a little bit of swing to help bring that momentum so that the hips are having to get to a higher point now to get over. But so it's a little bit of a swing, but I try to do this controlled as possible. And if you can, just use your core and lift. And as you lift, I'm pressing into the palms. I do the split leg just like I do in the forearm stand because it helps give me that teeter-totter. So let's see if I can do this by focusing. So sometimes what I'll do is if I feel like I'm in a good mood, I get into the split place and then I start playing with my legs. I'll bring them together in a straight handstand, or I'll try to bring them into a scorpion pose. It takes focus, it takes really being aware of where that balance is, and it takes a heck of a lot of practice. I started handstanding nearly 10 years ago, so it's a lot of practice and I'm still only just getting better at it, but I hope that these tips in this video have helped you improve. If you guys have any other tips or important factors that you feel like mentioning, place it in the comments below. And yeah, just give it a try. Even if you're not into yoga or any of that stuff, I would really love for you guys to just give it a try. It just gives you a whole new concept and awareness of your body, and I really feel like it brings that balance to your inner being. So let me know you like this video by hitting thumbs up, and share this video if you feel like it can help anybody, and I will see you guys in the next one. Ciao.